Hello everyone, welcome to MS Safety Webcast. In this video, we will learn the steps to configure single sign-on authentication for RD Web Access Server running on Windows Server 2019. This video is the 9th part in this video series on how to configure remote desktop services using Quick Start deployment. In the last video, we have configured SSO settings for remote desktop services. But those settings are not enough to set up SSO on RD Web Access Server. So in this video, we will complete the remaining configuration to apply fully SSO with RDS 2019. For this demo, I am using the TSLAB created in VirtualBox. This is our member server with the hostname WS2K19-SRV02. On this server, we have installed and configured remote desktop services using Quick Start deployment. If you haven't seen the last video, then go back and check out that video first. Link to that video is also given in the description. From this console, we can confirm that we have installed RD Connection Broker Role Service, RD Session Host and RD Web Access Role Services on our local server WS2K19-SRV02. Let's move to our Windows 10 client computer. In the last video, we have tested that single sign-in authentication is working perfectly fine with a remote desktop connection to RD Session Host server. But when we access RD Web Access Server, at that time, it is still asking for the username and password. Let's confirm it. As you can see, it is still asking for the username and password to access remote app programs. If we set up SSO for RD Web Access Server, this step will be skipped and directly user will sign in to the RD Web Access Server. For that, we have to set up Internet Explorer. So Internet Explorer allows to pass a Windows credential to the RD Web Access page. Some of the configuration will be done in IIS when we change over from form-based authentication to Windows authentication. We also need to edit a web.config file to make sure that authentication gets a changeover. First, we will configure settings related to SSO on RD Web Access Server, and then we will configure group policy settings. For that, we need to go to our RD Web Access Server. On RD Web Access Server, we need to open IIS Manager. So for that, we need to click on Tools and click on Internet Information Services Manager. On IIS Manager, we need to expand our server name, expand sites, expand default sites, and then click on RD Web Virtual Directory. We need to double click on authentication as we are going to disable anonymous authentication. And then after, we need to enable a Windows authentication. Let's right click on it and select enable. Perfect. So if you have multiple RD Web Access Server, you have to perform these steps on all RD Web Access Server. Once you modify the settings, you will need to restart the IIS service to apply the changes. But right now, I'm not going to restart IIS service because after finishing the configuration, we are going to restart our RD Web Access Server. Let's move to our domain controller to configure group policy related settings. This is our domain controller WS2K19-DC01. Let's open Group Policy Management console. Remember, in the last video, we have already configured Allow Credentials Delegation policy. And as we want to allow SSO for all domain users, we have edited the default domain policy. It's up to you if you want to edit default domain level policy, or you can create a new group policy object and you can attach that GPO at a domain level or at a specific OU level. In this video, we will use default domain policy. So let's right click on our default domain policy and select edit. Before we configure any additional configuration settings, let me show the settings which we have configured in the last video. For that, I'm going to click on Computer Configuration. Let's click on Policies and click on Admin Templates. Let me expand it. Expand Admin Templates. And then after, I'm going to click on System. And under System, we need to click on Credentials Delegation. Here we have set up these two policies. Let's double click on it. Let me maximize it. As you can see, this policy is enabled. And if you click on Show button, you can see we have added one entry under Add Service to the list. And that entry is term SRV/FQDN of our RDS server, which is WS2K19-SRV02.malb.local. The second policy which we have configured is allow delegating default credential. That policy is enabled, and if you click on show button, you can see the same entries there. Fine. We have configured one more policy. Let me show that policy as well. Let's click on Windows Components, and then we need to click on Remote Desktop Services. Under Remote Desktop Services, I'm going to click on Remote Desktop Connection Client, and here this is the policy which we have configured. Prompt for credentials on the client computer. Remember, we have selected to disable this policy as we don't want to prompt for the credential on a client computer. So these are the policies which we have configured in the last video. Now we are moving forward to set up those policies which are very important for RD Web Access Server single sign-on, in which we have to allow Internet Explorer to hand over the user credentials to the web page. For that, we need to set up policies under Internet Explorer. So let's click on Internet Explorer, expand it, and then after we need to click on Internet Control Panel. We also need to expand it, and then after we need to click on Security page. Here we need to locate Group Policy Settings name Site to Zone Assignment List. Let's double click on it. Make sure you enable this policy first, and then you need to click on Show button. Under value name, you have to specify the FQDN of your RD Web Access Server, which is ws2k19-srv02.mylib.local. Under value, I'm going to type value 2. As you can see, 2 for trusted site zone. Click on OK, click on Apply, and click on OK. Perfect. Now let's expand Security page. And under Security page, I'm going to click on Trusted Sites Zone. Here we need to enable one more group policy setting with the name Logon Options. Let's double click on it. Select the Radio button to enable this policy, and make sure Logon Options is selected to automatic logon with current username and password. Let's click on Apply and OK. So these are the 3 group policy settings which we need to configure on our domain controller. Now let's close Group Policy Management Editor console, and already our default domain policy is linked at our domain level, so there is no need to link a group policy object. We also need to update this group policy manually because we don't want to wait for settings to apply automatically after 90 to 120 minutes. So let's open command prompt, and at a command prompt I'm going to type command gp update/force, and let's press enter key. We're going to do the same on our Windows 10 client computer as well. Let's open command prompt, type gp update/force and press enter key. Remember, the configuration is not over yet. We still need to tweak some settings on our RD Web Access pages. For that, we need to open home directory of RD Web. Let's open Windows Explorer. Double click on a C drive, double click on a Windows folder, and look for the folder with the name Web. Under Web, we need to double click on RD Web. This is the home directory of our virtual directory RD Web. Let's double click on Pages folder, and here we have one file with the name web.config. We need to modify the content of this web.config file. But before we do that, let me copy this file and let's paste here. So if we mess up with a web.config file, we can restore the original one. Let's select web.config file, right click on it, and select edit with Notepad++. In case if you don't have Notepad++ installed on your server, that time you can also use Notepad. We need to enable Windows authentication, and we also want to disable form-based authentication. So let's look for that entry, and by default Windows authentication is commented out. Perfect. This is the one which we are looking for. Let's remove the comment section, and we also want to comment out form-based authentication. So that's why I'm going to add comment section here. Perfect. So now as you can see, Windows authentication is enabled and form-based authentication is disabled. Actually it is not disabled, but we have commented out that part. So indirectly form-based authentication is disabled. Now I'm going to save this file. There are 2 other sections that we have to comment out as well. Let's scroll a little bit, and under system.web servers. So once the handlers tag complete, after that we need to comment out. Let's press enter key. Let's add comment symbol. And up to end of the security tag, we need to comment it out. Perfect. So these are the two sections which we need to comment out. One for modules and second one for security. Fine. Let's save this file and let's close a web.config file as well. Perfect. One more thing is there which we want to modify. But before that, let's go to Windows 10 computer. And here we can see under security, we are seeing two options. This is a public or shared computer and this is a private computer. So whenever user accessing RD Web Access Server, that time user has to make a choice. Either it is a public computer or it is a private computer. And as we want to use a single sign-on for RD Web Access, so we don't want the users to have to make that choice. And that's why we are going to modify one more settings. So automatically it will be listed as a private computer. Let's again go to our RD Web Access Server. And under pages, we need to double click on en-us folder. And before we modify any settings of that file, I'm going to copy that file. Let's paste here. In case if you made any mistakes during the modification, we can restore the original one. Let's select default.aspx, right click on it and edit with Notepad++. Scroll down and find the value starting with public. Okay, here we have lots of values with the public. And here we need to find line with the public boolean with public checkbox selection. Okay, here we can see that line is there. Public bool B show public checkbox is equal to false, but for private mode it is also false. Okay, so let's change the value for B private mode and that value will be true. Once you set the value of a private mode to true, that time that page will be automatically considered as a private page and it will go right through the logon page. Now I'm going to save this and let's close Notepad++. After modifying all these settings, now we are ready to test SSO with RD Web Access. But before we test that, I want to restart RD Web Access Server, as in this video, I don't want any more errors. So let's close this. Let's close Server Manager as well and let's restart our RD Web Access Server as well. After restart, let's again log into our member server using our domain admin's credential. Once you specify username and password, press Enter key. Okay, one service is there. Let's click on it. Okay, let's manually start the service. Remote desktop management. Perfect. Click on OK. Click on Remote Desktop Services. Okay, now we can test SSO with RD Web Access. To test it, let's go to Windows 10 client computer. Let me close Internet Explorer first. And let's again open Internet Explorer. And this time, it is not asking for the username and password. You'll be able to access it directly without providing username and password due to single sign-on authentication. On this computer, already we have logged in with the credential of our domain user RDS user1, and that credential will be used while you are accessing RD Web Access Server. That's it for this video demonstration. Thank you all for watching this video on how to configure single sign-on authentication with RD Web Access running on Windows Server 2019.